If you're looking for the cheapest and most reliable Madden 22 coins on the market, check out my sponsor, MMOEXPR.com. Links are in the description, and use code JEDI at checkout for 5% off. Alrighty, hey there guys, Adrian Acosta here, aka JediBro95, coming at you guys with another video. So, lots to go over with this video, guys. We have a long video ahead of us. So, what I'm going to do, before we get too deep into it, guys, I will put timestamps in the description for you guys if you guys just want to come back and look and listen to my opinion on a specific topic or whatever, or if you want to skip forward in time to a specific time, all that will be in the description. So, do feel free to know that. But for those of you that are willing to watch the entire video in its entirety, thank you for that. I do appreciate it. If you also could leave a like and subscription, that would also be greatly appreciated, guys. But first off, let's get these ones out of the way. We have the golden tickets coming tomorrow. We have our next batch confirmed. So the first one is going to be William Perry, 95 speed with 98 run blocking, 98 lead block. Not bad for a fullback. Ted Hendricks, we saw this one yesterday in the video that I made about the unconfirmed golden tickets release. Now, I'm actually going to speak on this, speak on it now because I had somebody this morning comment that Deion Sanders and also Cordero, I think it was Deion Sanders and it was somebody else that was confirmed to be released. And unfortunately, I did not realize this at the time. And I just realized it after I've already made the video, and I put an editor's note in the description. I completely forgot to add Plaxico. Well, I knew Plaxico was out, but I couldn't find his stats. Cordero, I completely forgot was released to the person who made it, and we had his stats. As well as there was like one more. I think it was Deion. Yeah, it was Deion. So I apologize for missing those guys. Those I did not know. I did not find them until the video went live. Or until before the video went live. So, but Hendricks 96 speed. I talked about this last night. The problem with this card, so I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. Plaxico Burress. Now this is the first time I've seen this Plaxico Burress. 97 speed, 98 jumping. Just disgusting to me that we have 97 speed receivers in June, man. We've just hit June and we're still getting 97 speed receivers. It's disgusting. Cordero Patterson again, 97 speed running back. Just disgusting. Really nothing else to say about that. And then Russell Wilson, we saw this one yesterday as well on the video. 98 speed, which is much better, which I don't understand. Like, I love Russ, don't get me wrong. He's my QB. He's the guy I rock until I die. We'll be rocking on Mutt until either he's not very good anymore or whatever. But I don't understand how he has higher speed than basically every other golden ticket that's coming out tomorrow. I don't understand it. It's weird to me. Like, you know, William Perry I can understand a little bit because it is a fullback, but Ted Hendricks, in my opinion, Plaxico, and Cordero, in my opinion, has no excuses to not be 99 speed. So, now for the ability buckets, as of the time of recording this video, they have not released the ability buckets. I'm going to check here real quick, just to be sure EA has not added the ability buckets to their thread. Like they have not been, had not just added them. So it doesn't look like they added them. So we'll have to wait and see tomorrow when we do get the golden tickets. But for now, let's move on to the pre-order stuff, guys. So for the pre-order editions for Madden 23, they're changing it up a little bit this year. So from what it's looking like, there is not going to be any more 1 week before launch early access for EA Play. They're going to have EA Play Access Trial and EA Play Pro, but it's going to be on the 16th when the early access launches. So basically, how this is going to work is if you don't have the early access, if you don't have the All Madden edition for the game, you still can play it 3 days early with your EA Play trial, and then it will launch worldwide on the 19th. So that is actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I think this is solid. Obviously, we have the consoles that it's for. Now, for the pre-order stuff, here's what they're doing for the pre-order All Madden stuff. So you will obviously get the game early on the 16th of August. You'll also get 4,600 Madden points for to be able to upgrade your team, customize your avatar, and all that shit, which is actually pretty dope. 4,600 points, guys, for those of you that do not know, is about $50 American for points. So that is actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. You also can get the a limited time all Madden Team Elite Player with the pre-order if you pre-order by the 22nd of July. So the players who pre-order the Madden 23 All Madden Edition by the 22nd of July will receive an added bonus of an all Madden Team Elite Player for their MUT roster. An all Madden Team is a premium ultimate team program that celebrates Coach Madden's hand-picked teams upon them with new exciting players. Players will be able to choose one of 4 87 pluses to add to their team. Each player will have a premium ability that will enhance their in-game performance. So that is actually interesting. It does seem like discounted abilities. From what I'm taking about this, discounted abilities could come back, but it also could be like something different. I don't know. Dual entitlement, obviously, for both console versions. You'll get the early access challenges from the 16th to the 18th if you pre-ordered the game. You get choice of one or two elite players, one offense and one defense for MUT 23. We don't know what those are at the time. All Madden gear for the yard and a Madden strategy item for Madden NFL 23. So strategy items are coming back for 23. I am not a fan of it. Honestly, I don't like strat items. As long as they don't boost speed, I will completely be okay with it. Honestly, I think that's the main problem people had with the strat items is boosting speed. If they don't boost speed, I'm excited. I can look past it for strat items. So for the standard edition, it's just the elite players, all Madden gear and the Madden strategy items. So some questions from the community. If you played the game in previous years, there will be a loyalty offer. If you're an EA Play member, will there be any unique content? We already answered that. So, and then they also have some pre-order questions and whatnot. So there is that for the pre-order stuff. Now let's move on to the Field Sense Deep Dive. The biggest selling point for Madden 23 this year is the Field Sense Deep Dive. So Field Sense is the foundation for consistent, ultra-realistic gameplay that gives you more control at every position in Madden 23 and expects the every game mode in Madden 23, fueled by new physics-informed animation and animation branching technology. The Field Sense makes gameplay more authentic, bringing more variety and realistic physics-driven outcomes. Field Sense comes to life in 23 with more ways through control mechanics that we're calling hit everything, skill-based passing, 360 cuts, and wide receiver DB battles. We're starting on the defensive side of the ball with hit everything. So the hit everything system, we've heard that tackles at times tackles and collisions between players in NFL and Madden NFL gameplay are felt predetermined, leading to an immersion breaking moments at a total lack of control. I kind of felt that, to be completely honest, especially on breakaway runs when you're trying to tackle somebody on the open field. It really did seem like the tackles were a little predetermined in that regard. We built Hit Everything with the focus of allocating those feelings. Hit Everything is a compromise of 6 key opponents after augmented gameplay, providing over 3,500 new animations to give you control over every impact, tackle, and collision for more authentic outcomes. So they have the Hit the Pile feature, which is basically a physics-driven animation selection system that gives players more dynamic multiplayer control tackle situations. In the Hit Everything collisions, in every collision with the Hit the Pile. My God, I cannot read today. The physical factors such as players involved in the pile will have an impact. Being brought to the pile will determine for the proper outcome and a variety of outcomes. Gang tackles will feel more organic. Hit the pile aims to work consistently and all that stuff. Then we also have stand-up tackles, which, it's just basically like, having different types of things with outcomes. You also have with hitting blocks. Not only can you interact in different ways at ongoing tackles, but you can also do the same with ongoing blocking interactions too. In a range of blocking and interaction as a defender, the hit stick can be used to run into a block, to blow it up with force, to create a pile through traffic, to get through the pursuit of the ball carrier, or to get a teammate free. So basically, you can use the hit stick now to basically get a dominant impact block win. You can just go in there, whack the fucking lineman or whack the defensive player and put him onto the ground. Basically, that's what that is. Now, I'm hoping that this is obviously related to the lead block or impact block rating. Mid-air knockouts over the past 2 years, we've had significant shifts in interactions with the catch point. In Madden 21, the interactions were primary multiplayer catches that had both players on the side of the ball in a single interaction. In Madden 22, there are far more matchups consisting of single-player animations that were independent of each other to offer more control. Madden 23's Field Sense has unlocked the best of both worlds to create dynamic interactions called mid-airs that will create authentic interactions and also give players the control they desire in those crucial catching situations. This was a huge problem with 22. I think everybody can agree those aggressive catches and being unable to feel like you had control in those moments was definitely something that was a problem, and I'm glad they're looking to fix it. I just hope that it's not insane, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Insanely, bad, you know what I mean? Like, I hope that it's actually pretty good, and I hope it actually do some things. Players will experience this control when they attempt to break out a pass that leads to different risks and rewards. When going for the interceptions, you will all see all new catch contests that will come with a chance for the receiver to break the tackle. If you want to play a bit more conservative, go for a swat attempt. The defender will try to rip the ball from the receiver's hands while the ball is in the air with a lower chance to break the tackle. And lastly, if you simply want to secure the tackle, choosing play receiver or hit stick will make the defender not play the ball, but attack the receiver with a lower chance of knocking the ball out compared to the swat. So each one of these has its own advantages and disadvantages. You can just try to hit the receiver and let him come down with the ball and hit the receiver, which is pretty sweet. You could try to knock the ball out, or you could try to go for the pick, which honestly, they tried that a little bit with 22. I remember them back in 21 going into 22, they said that they wanted to incorporate that more field, but they also did say that they were going to have, a situation where people were punished for playing the ball too much instead of playing the receiver. So as long as it's not bad, I'm not really going to get to playing. Then we have add-on blocks. Hit everything is used in offense as well with new add-on blocks, branching and physical tech, skill-based passing. We're going to move on to next. This was another huge one that people are talking about. It's designed to give you more control over every pass you throw by using the power meter to dictate your power and trajectory on the pass, and a new pinpoint precision, and new control for pinpoint precision. My apologies. With skill-based passing, you can now lead your receivers open to and place the ball where only they can get it. You have the ability to make back shoulder throws, place it in the perfect spot on a corner route, hit your receiver in the end zone for a fade, drop it over the defense on a streak. Skill-based passing opens up your offense in a whole new way. So the basics is when we designed it to be intuitive and with both control scheme and visual feedback when using the mechanic. To use skill-based passing, press any receiver icon to throw the ball, then use the left stick to aim your pass to lead the receiver. Skill-based passing can be used intuitively post-snap to throw however you want to whoever you want. It's that simple. So target area and reticles, well, there's a visual feedback visual feedback is a key element for the passing, ensuring players have get the feedback needed to build their skill and achieve the full control. When you go to throw the ball to the receiver, you will notice a target area underneath them. The target area represents two things: where you can aim your pass with the left stick, and the area receiver can guarantee a catch attempt. Keep in mind that the target area can vary on size depending on the route of the receiver and the depth of the pass. Within the target area, you will see a reticle where you can get that visual feedback for wherever you're trying to lead the receiver. You will be able to move the reticle via the left stick. By default, the reticle will snap to the edge target area in the direction of your left stick input. For more advanced players who want the finer control over the ball placement, we present to you free-form passing. Free-form passing is another layer of control where you can master as you become more favorite with your favorite NFL quarterback. Free-form gives you the ability to pinpoint your throw to your receiver both within and outside the target area. A huge factor in unlocking free-form was capturing new catch animations to better pair with real-life throws a quarterback makes. Holding LT or L2 and aiming the ball away from your receiver with the left stick for a back shoulder catch to help keep the defensive back at bay. You want to really lead your receiver on a streak? Use freeform to aim the target, to aim outside the target area and downfield to let your receiver run under it. You will also be able to target the sidelines and corners ends for much easier with freeform passing to enable new fade catch animations. With freeform activated using LT or L2, once again, we've removed the low pass from the skill-based passing. However, you will still be able to throw a lower trajectory pass by holding the LT or L2 and moving the left stick down to make the receiver catch it closer to the ground. So, in other words, guys, this is basically kind of like a much more diverse version of pass leading. They really took the pass lead feature and they're really running with it. You know what I mean? Passing meters. We've built 2 passing meters that you can use as skill-based passing, allowing you to choose what feels best. First is the power meter. The first meter determines the power of your pass. The power meter helps you visualize the type of pass you're throwing, depending on whenever you let go of the icon. Release receiver icon early to lob. Release it receive in the middle to throw a touch, and or hold it down all the way to throw a bullet. The meter is achieved by selecting placement as the passing type under the control settings. Accuracy meter. The accuracy meter offers you the ability to not only influence the power on your pass, but the accuracy as well. This meter is achieved by placing the placement and accuracy as the passing type under the skill-based passing. Now, just a quick side note here, they do actually showcase to you guys how you can change up the settings for the skill-based passing, which I will go over here just a quick second. Holding down the receiver icon starts the meter, similar to the power meter when releasing the button early results in, the same type of pass. Additionally, there's a blue portion of the meter where if you release the ball, you are guaranteed an accurate or perfect pass. If you release the pass outside of this blue selection, you won't receive an accuracy boost to your pass, and your quarterback's accuracy ratings and game context will determine how accurate the throw is. So basically, there's no penalty for a mistimed accuracy meter pass, but there's a boost to it, which I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. But at the same token, I'm a little intrigued now with this skill-based passing system that they have in the game. Honestly, at first I was completely against it, like, no, we don't need this. But afterwards, you know what? I want to get my hands on the game. I want to see how it plays. So for the skill-based pass settings, you have the passing type, which will lead between power lead and accuracy, which would be power lead and accuracy, or power lead mechanic. While we really encourage players to take advantage of the new skill-based passing, you can select the classic passing type to use our legacy passing mechanic. So basically, they will give you the option to turn it off, which I'm assuming is for online as well. Passing slowdown, we added an offline feature for skill-based form passing. When you begin your throw, the game will slow down, so you have more time to place the ball exactly where you want to. So this is only offline. This will not be online, which is something I think I had a little bit of a thing with. I did not think it was going to or should have been online. I think it definitely should have stayed offline. Passing freeform max distance, you will have the option to select a pass distance where you want to pass lead outside the target area using freeform. Then you have speed, then you have the reticle visibility, then you have the meter visibility. Sound good? Everything sounds good. It's a little bit weird, but it is what it is. So just give me 1 second here. My apologies, gentlemen. The wife just walked in, so I didn't want her slamming the door, getting on the phone, getting on the my recording. Anyhow, so next we have 360 cuts. Now this is just a quick one. This is basically when you're running the ball with the LT or L2 buttons down. You basically can cut in different directions, and you'll be easy to cut. Run a cut easily. You'll be able to cut much better. Where you cut right to a blocker's back to hit a lane, make a cut into a tight gap. Where they're with running back, quarterback on the run, receiver after the catch, or returning a kickoff or interception. Basically from not what it's looking like now, you're just gonna have to hold the LT button when you're running down the field with the ball in your hands. So wide receiver and defensive back battles. Lastly, our set of gameplay mechanics is basically new wide receiver and defensive back interactions, release moves, and cut and fake. So basically, this is more or less if you're using a wide receiver, like you're playing Face of the Franchise or whatnot. And then this is new cuts and fakes. You got new press and DB counters and whatnot, defensive back evades. So basically that is everything for the field sense passing. Now let's move on, guys, to the Madden 23 closed beta details. Now, there's a lot going on with the Madden 23 beta. A lot of people are actually getting their codes now, which is weird because I remember them saying on the thing after you register that check your inbox on the 16th, but apparently we're getting them now. So, welcome to our Madden 23 Good Iron Knows. Today we'll be giving you details about the closed beta. We're excited to get you. We know you're excited to get your hands on Madden 23 and experience all the great gameplay moments Field Sense will deliver with our closed beta. Yep, we get it. So available now in the closed beta, we have just head-to-head ranked and play now. Coming soon, they're going to have the rest of the modes, including Madden Ultimate Team, which is great. For the capture zone, for the closed beta, obviously you're not allowed to have any captures. So basically, I cannot showcase to you guys any screenshots, any information, like gameplay. I cannot showcase to you any of that. So when I do get my hands on the beta, I will make a beta review after I play it for a few days to let you guys know how I feel about it. So there is that. And then obviously, you got your how to download stuff in that nature. But when it comes to the known issues, just give me 1 second here while we get into that. Once again, gentlemen, my apologies. My lady and I are just figuring out what we're going to be doing for dinner here real quick at the time we're recording this video. So with Madden 23 closed beta issues, now there are some issues that they are aware of that they decided to present to us. Mid-air collisions at the catch point are not triggering often frequently enough. Man coverage defenders frequently play fake-out animations when covering curl and comeback routes. Halfback slip screen does not work properly due to the running back delay being too long. Aggressive catch mechanic does not respect player input in specific situations. Player ratings impact to skill-based passing is not final. Skill-based passing reticle snaps back when the user releases the LT, so the user is unable to place it and leave it. Underneath zone defenders are breaking too quickly on intermediate and deep routes. Pass rush non-engaged super win animations are triggering too frequently on All Pro and All Madden So I saw some people talking about the time in the pocket. Pass rush is a little bit insane, which is a known issue, and I hope that does get addressed because obviously it won't be fun to get sacked within like 1 second. That would be just nuts. Sometimes catches don't sync up properly when throwing to tight ends on flats. Defenders in play ball situations sometimes obstruct the receiver from getting to the ball and do not make a play on the ball, so they basically commit pass interference. And running backs sometimes get caught up on the line when they go out on a route and do not play in an avoidance or chip block animation. Note, the NFL player and rookie ratings throughout the 23 closed beta have been scrambled and are not final. So here's, if you want to talk about like your things that you're having to deal with when it comes to Madden 23, there is a place you can go. There is a closed beta. You can go here and provide your feedback. Now, the frequently asked question, and this is probably the most common asked question because I've been sitting on Twitter all day today tweeting about this. I signed up for a chance for the future Madden NFL opportunities, but I didn't receive a code. What should I do? Codes are being sent out in waves during the course of the closed beta, so keep checking your email for a chance to play the Madden 23 closed beta. So yeah, it is something that they are aware of. And it is something that is happening. So keep an eye out for your email, guys. I definitely will let you guys know when I got mine. So that way you guys can definitely, understand when I got mine. And then finally, gentlemen, we move on to the last thing. And it is the foundational football gameplay and thing. So obviously, there's just talking about some foundational things like pass rush, pass coverage, quarterback contains, basically a lot of defensive stuff. So now let's start with the pass coverage. So first off, let's start with the spot drop zones. We will be featuring spot drop zones as our core coverage concept within our defensive playbooks and AI. This means by default, all zone coverages in our playbooks will strictly be using spot drop zone logic and covering a specific area of the field instead of a mixture of both spot drop and match coverages like we had last year. So basically, in summary, they are taking match coverage out of the playbooks, but that does not mean match coverage is gone. Let me get there. The purpose of this change was to make the play art on the play call screen the central source of truth for players so they can better predict how their zones will react during the play. Because if you do play Madden 22 or if you've played any of the Madden games in the last couple of years, the defender's zones are actually different shades of color depending on the zone itself. I know, like, for example, curl flats and seam flats. The seam flat is a little bit is lighter on the seam flat compared to the curl flat. in terms of the outside, like the clouds and the hards and whatnot, they're different shades. The hard flat is like a much darker blue, while the soft squats are a very light blue. So obviously they're changing that up, and they're not gonna have that. They're still gonna have like cover 3 hard flat, cover 2 hard flat, and all that stuff, but they're getting rid of the match. However, covered concepts will still be accessible through our coach adjustments menu during the play selection. Simply flipping the zone coverage coach adjustments to match will break our depth rule set for coverages that will convert from zone to man during the play when calling specific match coverage play type. So basically, you can turn on match by going into coach suggestions the same way you do zone drops. Drift logic for deep zone defenders. Drift logic is an all-new coverage behavior for deep zones. This logic prevents deep zone defenders from drifting too far up the field without having a vertical threat in their area. This will prevent those third window throws on deep crossers. This will prevent those third window deep crossing routes. Drift logic will also allows the defender to recognize a receiver approaching this zone sooner, plaster him in coverage when he gets across his face, and not get beat underneath him. The players told us those third window crossers were completed too consistently, and this new drift logic aims to address that feedback. And I hope to God this is true. Deep posts against thirds and crossers against thirds with no vertical threat in the area completely made pass defense, especially deep ball passing, very hard to stop. Like, you had to use the crossing route yourself, or you just had to hope you got an under pressure and accurate. And even that was a little bit unlucky, in certain situations. Zone defender locomotion. We've captured a whole new set of defensive back-specific movement animations. Along with AI support, the defenders in Madden 23 will backpedal and flip their hips, strafe, and look back at the ball more smoothly, authentically, and more realistically. Not only will defensive backs look the part, but the new movement animations will also give them the way they want to go more efficiently, which will make passing windows against zone coverage much tighter. One of the biggest pet peeves I had with defensive movement in Madden 22 was outside cornerbacks that are playing in deep halves, mainly outside thirds and mainly deep thirds and deep quarters. They did not keep their eyes on the quarterback. They straight ran back like they were guarding a streak, despite the fact that there was nothing there. And that really made me upset because that's just basic fundamental football. You're taught that, as I said in my things that need to be fixed video, you're taught that in high school, you're taught that in middle school. If you're playing zone coverage on a deep zone, or in any zone really, you don't turn your back to the quarterback in zone coverage at all. You just don't turn your back to the quarterback unless you're matched up with a receiver. Then you turn your back, obviously, especially if you're playing an outside third, you're going on a streak and there's a corner underneath it. Obviously, yes, the outside third, you're going to run with that streak and make sure he doesn't get they don't get a big play deep down the field, and you have to allow that corner to get underneath you. So, yeah, like I said, that was just a big pet peeve of mine, and I'm glad that they have fixed that. We also added new dynamic break times for each type of zone defender when facing specific routes. Zones that are supposed to take away specific routes or areas of the field will now break on the throw faster versus those routes that will when they're against their zones that are not designed to take away. One example of this is a hard flat aggressively breaking on a route to a flat instead of leveraging deeper routes first. Another is a deep outside third covering or breaking faster when a corner route enters their zone. So again, much better zone-proof logic. Obviously, a hard flat is going to break to a flat route much faster than they would a curl route, right? Because they're not worried about the curl route in that specific situation because they're supposed to play the hard flat. You get to the line of scrimmage and you take that flat. Sorry, I don't know why I hit my hands. That is my apologies. DB catch versus SWAT. With our zone coverage playing stronger fundamental football, we've also tuned the balance between play ball, receiver, and SWAT. This is something that I talked about in the field sense, hit everything, so I will move past this. Pass rush and QB contains. One of the biggest problems with Madden 23 was the Madden 22 was pass rush and QB, mainly QB contains. Pass rush was a little bit better if you had things like double or nothing or edge threat elite. But quicker get-offs for AI pass rushers. For all pass rushers. Pass rushers are now going to get off the ball much quicker in 23. Any blitzing player will have a much shorter delay times in reacting to the snap that opens up more quarterback pressure when calling stock blitz plays. In addition, new animations for both blockers and pass rushers during their battles will result more pocket forming naturally while also collapsing faster. QBs will have to step up in the pocket and or use checkdowns more often to consistently get the ball out before the pass rush gets home. Now, they talked about this last year with you having to step up in the pocket and having the pocket much more cleanly and integrally. However, I don't think, they did that last year, so I'm not really jumping on the wagon for this one. Pass rush, lane integrity, pass rushers get new logic and playbook assignments that will help improve the integrity of the rush lanes, i.e. gap. When rushing the passer, this means that each lane will be filled by a rusher while avoiding having multiple rushers in the same gap, which will essentially allow those defenders to block themselves and take them out of the play. Yikes. That was a bit of a huge problem. Disengage improvement. Stopping mobile quarterbacks has always been a difficult task for defenses, both in the NFL and in Madden. For Madden 23, we have new AI and tuned some of the defensive behaviors to give the defense more balanced tools when dealing with mobile quarterbacks. We've improved disengage animations for pass rushers to get away from blockers faster for both one-on-one and double-team block to pursue the quarterback when they roll out. We've also improved the prediction AI for contained players, and they will be responsive. It will be more responsive and anticipating when the quarterback is going to take off, so they can react them quicker and get themselves in a proper position to make a play. I saw Zan Madden tweet about this today because he has his beta code for Madden 23. And he actually did talk about how the guy was double teamed on his contain, but he was still able to fight in that contain and keep the quarterback in the pocket. So I'm happy to hear about this, and it does sound like it's working, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this can do. Also, by the way, for blocking, they have also changed some of the blocking combination with pass rushers. Also, if you decided to just control F Escape Artist, we got you. Escape Artist has been pulled from the passive superstar ability pool and is now an X factor in Madden 23. Once you've met the in-game X factor conditions to activate it, the boost granted with Escape Artist will be also reduced compared to previous years. We still want to offer the explosive playmaking ability for mobile quarterbacks, but this feels like a better balanced approach. We will have more details on the Superstar X Factor abilities in future Gridiron notes for Madden 23, but we know this one is important to our most dedicated players. Then we also have, things like other football improvements like catching, definitely some changes to catching. Playbooks, they're looking to change up some things too. Our top goals for playbooks under center and streamlining, all dilating, whatever. AI quarterbacks have been tuned to give better differentiation to how they would to see the feel on the pressure depending on their ratings, injuries, and then signature content. Again, I'm actually going to link all this stuff as well in the description, guys, but that is going to do it for the video. It is a very long video, and I do apologize. Once again, there are timestamps in the description if you want to go back and just read up on anything. Also, all the links for this will be in the description, guys. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.